Chokodon, Paji Paji. Nope. Okay. Hi guys, my name is Milan and welcome to another Tokulook, where in this video we'll be looking at not one but two episodes. We'll be looking at episodes 7 and 8. Hold on. 7 and 8 of Kamen Rider Gavv. Now you may be wondering, why am I doing two episodes? Well, two reasons. One, I'm fucking behind, and two, this is a two-parter and the episodes flow really nicely into each other, so I just thought it'd be better if I had a look at these two episodes at the same time. So let's not beat around the bush and discuss the episodes, right? Now, episode 7 basically starts off from where we left off last episode, which is the fact that Hanto just beat his first Granyu and Shoma goes to investigate. And let's just say that the exchange between them is the exchange of all time. They are so awkward between each other. It made me giggle a little bit when I watched it again. I just like the interaction between them, and especially when you see their interactions in the future, it's just nice to see their development over time. But as we do these, just these videos, as if this is the only episode we watched, then let's just pretend that the interaction between the two for the first time is quite funny. It's actually not the first time that they're going to talk to each other, because they're going to talk to each other out of the suit without knowing each other's identity. However, this is also the part where we find out how each of the riders got their names. So Shoma asks, he refers to Hanto as Mr. Chocolate, and Hanto just has like a brain spasm. He's like, I'm not doing this one. So he thinks of Valen, and then he just goes into depression mode anyway, because it was related to chocolate. Regardless, for those that don't know, in Japan on Valentine's Day, you would usually give chocolate to a loved one, and the same thing would be done on White Day. So that is why the Valentine motif. But Shoma is being referred to as Red Gavv, and Shoma doesn't really know what to do. To be honest, Shoma had more creative freedom compared to Hanto, I'd say, and he just referred to himself as Gavv instead. So Shoma, you did a massive job on the naming part. That's just me though. That's just me though. But oh well. Speaking of Shoma, I just need to let you guys know that Shoma is the perfect housewife. Alright, and I need to elaborate on this, because basically the premise of this two-parter is that Sachika is doing a job for her great aunt, and she lives in this great mansion. It looks quite nice, and she's also a patron for these two up-and-coming artists. Don't make me speak about one of them. We'll get to that fucker later. Anyway, the job is to clean the mansion, as it's quite big, and she's quite old, so she doesn't have a lot of time on her hands, alright? So they, start cleaning, and Shoma obviously proves his housewiving skills by dusting the whole house. Man's rapid, so much so that he accidentally pushes a vase to the point that it breaks with a dust cleaner. I rate the effort, Shoma. I really rate the effort. The more insane thing that happens later is the fact that he picks grass, and he grabs so much land that he makes a tree fall over. Like, Shoma, you're a one of a kind. Alright, I like what I see. And then there's a scene, I'm still unsure of how it goes, but there's a scene where Shoma keeps cracking so many eggs. We see like 3 bowls of eggshells, and there's 1 full bowl of yolk. Like, does he? Because we see like later on in the episode that he's trying to learn how to crack an egg. Like, does he mean like whenever he cracks an egg, there's like leftover eggshells left in like the yolk bowl? Because if that's the case, then have you heard of a spoon? Okay, you can't crack an egg without dropping some eggshells onto the bowl. I don't think he's the first and last one to do that. Just use a spoon, alright? Just get it out, bro. Get that shit out of it. But let's move on aside from Shoma for a little bit. Let's talk about Hanto as he goes to Mr. Sugar's lab to get a bit of a checkup, and you know, Sugar tells him that there's no concerning side effects after he had the operation completed on him, and that everything is all good. And he even gives him like a nod. He's like, hey, yo, like you know that guy. Can you invite him to my place? And Hanto's like, well, as if, motherfucker. So you can clearly tell that Hanto doesn't really trust Sugar as much right now. So yeah, that's an interesting thing that we'll have to look over in the next few episodes. It's just like a one minor scene that I just want to talk about. It just caught me off guard. Is Shoma goes to visit Dente, who again he's his great uncle, and he receives a gift. Shoma receives a gift of the phone. Like maybe saying, you know, why do we get this toy phone? All right, Shoma can just get an iPhone 13, right? Well, two things. First of all, there's an Android only channel. If you have an iPhone, the door is there. Second of all, the reason why he gets a specific phone is because if he has a Gochizo stand on a specific spot of the phone, he'll be able to display all the things that the Gochizo have seen, which is quite useful for Shoma to analyze from the fight scenes and also analyze anything that the Gochizo have seen while patrolling the town. So again, it makes sense because of the fact that Shoma literally asked the Gochizo to patrol around, and the fact that he can literally see some of these things now is very useful, especially when dealing with so many stomach family problems. So yeah, but the thing that caught me off guard is the fact that Dente eats so much food that he even eats the packaging for the food. Like he eats the crisp packet like as a whole. Like like the crisp keep falling on. Ooh, madness. He has the crisp fall into his mouth, and then he eats the packaging alongside the food. Like, are you that hungry, Dente? I mean, I know you're a fat bastard, but as a fat bastard myself, you don't need to eat that. That's just me. But there is also a scene where Hanto goes to Sachika's place because he wants her to dig into the Kamen Rider situation, right? And again, so because of the fact that they don't know each other's identities, Hanto finds out like that Shoma basically exists, right? He works for Sachika, and Shoma finds out that Hanto is looking into the Kamen Rider, aka him, and aka Hanto as well, but he doesn't know that. Again, that whole conversation is just really awkward, and I just think, guys, that they should just kiss already, alright? Like, we're 10 minutes into the episode, and I feel like they should just have a whole make-out session, alright? I think that'll be some magnificent content for everyone to see. I think everyone would appreciate that, alright? What do you guys think? Well, you know, there's one more thing that I'll talk about, and then I'll talk about the main thing that happens in the episode. So, Shoma acquires the Chokodon form, and two things. He shoots out poo-poo, as far as I'm aware, which last time I checked, I don't think that's chocolate, but I don't know, Shoma. You know, if you don't have time to go to the toilet, you don't need to shoot it out on other monsters, all right? It's a bit weird, all right? And the second thing is the scene when the Monster of the Week and Shoma do like a shooting session along the car park is actually a near one-to-one recreation of like a film scene, which is quite neat. So if you're curious, then look into that. I might even link it in the description here. It's quite interesting that they do these references just out of nowhere. So yeah, but the main thing, right, that happens in this episode, which we will then talk about more once we start talking about episode 8, is Sachika, right? This two-parter revolves mainly around Sachika, right? So the main thing that happens, right? So again, her great aunt is a patron for these two up-and-coming artists, right? And this one girl is invited to go to Paris by the months of the week, aka she's not being invited to Paris, all right? She gets compressed, but no one knows that, and the other guy becomes very frustrated. Now, to summarize this character in a nutshell, this guy fucking stinks, all right? Editor, help me out here. This guy fucking stinks. Like, what? This guy's molding. I mean, his art is like mid anyway. So, look, Sachika is trying to cheer him up. Alright, she's like, you know, his art is nice and lovely, and that he should just carry on doing the things that he loves to do. And out of frustration, this guy just throws a bucket of paint onto Sachika. Ho 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 ho! This guy has the balls to do this to the precious Sachika. Ho ho! This guy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I was molding when I saw that. Like, whew, bro. Fucking Dragon Ball. Bro, that pissed me off, man. Why? Just why are you being a dickhead for? Honestly, it's actually silly. Don't be surprised when you don't achieve things in the future when you're treating others so poorly, alright? If you're frustrated about other people's success, then there's clearly a problem with you, alright? But we don't care about these stinky people. We can now move on to episode 8, alright, where we talk about some more interesting stuff. So, episode 8 starts off by Hanto getting his ass beaten. Now, you may be wondering, how did we get to this point? Alright, so let me tell you a little bit about what happens in the last episode. There was basically Glotter, alright? Glotter goes to investigate why the part-timers are not getting enough compressed humans, alright? And Shita and Jeep are about to be fired, alright? And they're like, hey, we got this under control. We got this under control. And Glotter's like, okay, let me check around this ship. So she goes into the Argyle and she meets Hanto. And they have like this one-on-one talk. And, alright, Glotter just one-shots Hanto in the first 5 minutes of the episode. And I'm pretty sure that the Toku community had a field day watching this. Because I think Glotter, as a character, invites a lot of specific fans into the community, and all I have to say is don't message me. And look, I think Glotter had a cool entrance. Buying that down. I'm not down bad, guys. That's just me. Anyway, one funny thing that also happens at the start of the episode is the fact that Shoma saves Tamaki, who is the other artist that was going to Paris, and he decompresses her. Well, no, uncompress. What? She comes back to life, all right, and Shoma, because he doesn't want to scare off more people by being transformed, he sees her and he's like, "Oh, Tamaki-san, what brings you here? In a car park. Shoma, why are you in a car park? You tell me, bro. Why are you in a car park? Of all places, bro. Such a why didn't he like release her like outside or something? You know, it's just find it kind of funny. Again, because I said that the main plot of the two-parter revolves around Sachika, right? And Shoma asks why she had like paint spilled over her. And Sachika just kind of brushes it off. And you can see that Shoma was quite upset because, you know, he cares about Sachika. Like, she's quite an inspiration for him. And he just wants to help her out. Her great aunt arrives to her place of business. And she says that the guy apologized for his actions. You know, I don't think he actually apologized, though, right? I mean, the guy didn't even apologize in person, first of all. So, as far as I'm aware, the guy didn't do shit, alright? Also, this is where we move to the actual main part, where Sachika reveals the fact that she kind of never feels good enough. She feels like whenever she tries to cheer someone up or just lift someone's spirits up, she receives a response of, well, you know, you can't relate to my position, like, you're in a better position than I am, or you can't understand how I feel. But, you know, there's like an important conversation to be had, because realistically, right, even though sometimes I can't relate to someone's situation, alright, that doesn't mean that I can't do my best to support someone, alright? Because the point of a friend is that you are with them and that you cared about them, okay? And again, Sachika, Shoma makes a really good point in the sense that she should stand up for herself. That if she wants to speak her mind, then she should. Because Sachika, we have this moment where she's like hesitating to speak to the artist, right? I mean, in that scene, she should have said her piece. I mean, she literally got paint spilled on her. It's not nice, alright? Instead, she just apologized, which, again, if it was me personally, I'm just telling her, like, oh, fuck off, all this shit. But, again, it's an important conversation to be had. At the end of the day, in my opinion, alright, we can have discussion in the comment section, but, in my opinion, no matter what the situation is, you should be there for the person if you truly cared about them. And Sachika is a kind enough person to the point that she will try to cheer up anybody. And that's why I like Sachika a lot, because she truly is a lovely person. And we see that she stands up for herself, especially towards the end of the episode where she spills paint on the monster of the week. Because he was about to compress the other artist. And Sachika clearly cared about the other guy, even after what he did, because she did that, that action of spilling the paint on the monster of the week. So again, I like Sachika a lot, and I like that scene at the end as well. But some other things that happen in the episode is Hanto goes to investigate the monster of the week by finding out that there was some other artists that went missing, and the only connection that he could make is the Tamaki-san girl, right? And she stays at the Great Aunt's house. And the one thing that I didn't understand, right, was Hanto laid around outside of the mansion for the whole afternoon, and you're telling me that no one noticed? Has anyone heard of a camera? Yeah, I just found that odd. But a funny scene was when Hanto gets asked by Sachika, like, why is he here? Why are you here? And Hanto's like, I'm investigating this. And I mean, Shoma doesn't say it, but he literally says, so you think he's sus as well? It's kind of funny. But we then move on to the monster of the week situation. So Hanto presumes that the monster of the week has just entered the mansion, right? And Hanto's like, how do we figure this out? How do we figure out that this guy's a monster and we can like deal with the situation? And Shoma's like, I have the idea. And let me just say, this is the acting of a lifetime. Shoma spills some drink onto the guy, and then he opens his shirt, and he's like, "This guy's an imposter," and it's kind of ironic because of the fact that the guy portraying Shoma is doing an acting bit, so it's acting on acting. Madness. But some funny lines from the monster of the week as well. The monster of the week just says random lines in other languages. So once he tries to escape the mansion, he says "Arrivederci," and this entire time when he did that, I was just thinking like he was leaving and he's like, "Arrivederci, motherfucker." I don't know why. And then there was like another scene where, so for context, the monster of the week can split into two by having these like miniature fish turn into the monster itself. So Hanto this entire episode is trying to like beat the clone on like the amount of finishers that Hanto uses is insane. But every time he's a finisher, another clone comes up, and there's this one scene where Hanto defeats the clone, and the guy's like, "Ciao."
Are you ready? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
this then results in the ending fight where Shoma uses the Odo Chokodon Gochizo to summon another gun that you know that you can summon. Also, just a fun note: so when he turns into Chokodon, he bites off the chocolate thing to turn it into a gun. So I thought that was kind of neat. But yeah, so they do like a co-op mission basically, where they just keep shooting, bang, 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 into all of the fishes, so that there's nothing left, and the only thing remaining is the monster of the week. And so you know how I mentioned that Sachika spilled paint on the monster of the week, right? So that made Shoma realize, like, okay, so we defeat this guy, and this guy still, he doesn't have pain anymore. Makes no sense, right? So that's when they realize that there's most likely a clone, which is quite smart of Shoma. Smart guy. And yeah, towards the end of the episode, Sachika takes a selfie with the two Kamen Riders, so very based. And yeah, that's the two episodes. I really enjoyed this episodes again because I like Sachika, and again I just like the characters overall anyway. I like the interactions between them, and the police is on my butt, guys. They think I'm saying wrong takes, but I'm just spitting facts, alright? Anyway, I like these episodes. I love the interaction between the characters, and I especially love the development of Sachika and her standing up for herself, doing what is right, and making everyone smile, essentially. I'll just leave it there. But guys, at the end of the day, whatever I say does not matter, because you should watch the episode yourself. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.